The mission of Hamilton Sales Training is to evolve this business by helping to develop professional, elite consultants throughout the country. Now, how are we going to do this, you say? Well, it's pretty simple. The first thing we have to do is understand the business. Now, the business has changed. A lot of things have changed. We have to learn to embrace the transparency that's been thrust upon us. Now, obviously, the internet, a long time ago, started divulging certain information. There's a lot of different sources that we have now. We're going to get into all of those things, whether it be TrueCar, whether it be Edmunds, NADA, what have you. We're going to learn how to utilize all that information to our advantage. And we'll learn how to take control back. And again, we want to evolve the business based on total transparency. There's no more shell games. There's no more smoke and mirrors. This business is primed to become the most professional business that there is. And I'm going to help you get there. Now, what I'd like to do is try to simplify our game plan. I'd like to simplify everything that this business represents into a couple of different ideas. Now, the first thing that we're going to do, the first type of action we're going to take or keep in mind all the time when we're selling, is to pursue the 4 C's. The 4 C's represent 2 concepts: customer comfort, consultant confidence. And these 2 things really are the foundation of all sales. If you can achieve these, and that's why it's always a pursuit, if you can actually achieve these things, you're going to win more often than not. And it's kind of interesting to note that consumer or customer comfort and consultant confidence, or employee confidence, are directly proportional, which means as one goes up, so does the other. As one drops, the other one does as well. But these are the 2 things that we have to keep in mind at all times. In fact, everything we do, everything we say, all of our actions, our words, have to be pursuant of these ideas all the time. And then we win. Now, the second thing that we have to do is we have to practice feigned indifference. Now, feigned indifference, definition, is to pretend to not have any bias whether or not somebody buys a car today. Now, I know that totally flies in the face of a lot of the things we've talked about in the past or been taught. I know it goes directly against some of the things I've been taught in the past. But think about it. Right now, the consumer just wants to get comfortable. They want to understand what's going on. And it also tends to take power away from those dominant personalities that come in and just say, I want your best price, I want your best trade-in, and then we'll buy a car, and then I'm leaving, I'm going to shop everybody, what have you. The feigned indifference takes that away from them. So we have to what? We have to practice feigned indifference at all times. Say, who wants to sell me a car today? I want to buy a car today. Well, we'd love to sell you a vehicle, but please, when the value is there for you and you see the value in it and you decide to make the purchase, that's whatever time that you decide. It's very simple. And that's the thing that we'd like to go ahead and practice, is a feigned indifference. Okay, the third thing that we have to do is utilize the market-based pricing philosophy. Now, this isn't maybe the same as what you've heard in the past, but what it does is it takes away, like we talked about, there's no shell game. All of our pricing is market-based. It's whatever the market will bear, Mr. and Mrs. Customer. We want to take great care of you. We're going to give you a fair price. You can point to any car on our lot, say, I'll take it, and be rewarded with a great deal. That's how we price our vehicles, and that's why we turn our inventory so quickly and why we take such good care of our customers. But again, it's market-based. All the sources out there are market-based, right? They're pulling all the information from all the sales that take place in a certain region, and they're reporting them to our customers. There's where the transparency comes in. But again, it's very simple if we go right to that philosophy. Another thing we're going to utilize is called a technique, and that is counter-transition close. Counter-transition close, the technique. And it's a wonderful, wonderful tool to utilize. And what it is basically is, let's say, for instance, somebody has an issue with a trade appraisal or a trade value. A counter would be, well, please keep in mind, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, that the reason your trade is worth what it is the very same reason you can buy ours for what you can. The market's related that way. That being said, can we go ahead and move forward with the paperwork? Counter, transition, close. It's beautiful. You can use just a number of counters and word tracks with this technique and come out on top. And you will never be fooled. You will never be anxious. You will always know exactly how to react to whatever concern or objection the customer might have. And this is going to be vital moving forward. And we'll teach you all of that. So how is Hamilton Sales Training going to help us achieve all of these neat things that we're talking about? Well, the very first step, if you haven't already, please purchase Beyond the Walk-Around. It's a book that started everything, and it gives you a whole bunch of interesting philosophies, strategies, tactics, word tracks, what have you. And that's available in print through Amazon. It's available in audio format through Audible and iTunes, and also in a Kindle format. So this is something that you need to pick up to get started and get a good background of everything that we're trying to accomplish here. And thank you so much again for all the positive feedback that it has had. Secondly, we're going to do podcasts or audio casts every 2 weeks or so, and these things are going to utilize that format to give examples of how these strategies and tactics and the things that we're talking about and what we're pursuing actually work. And so be sure to tune into those, and that's going to be available here very shortly. Another thing is going to be 2 full-length videos, and I mean 55, 60 minutes of video, and the first one's going to be feigned indifference in the technique. Again, that's been in demand. I've had a lot of requests for that. Let me know a little bit more about feigned indifference in the technique, so we're going to dive deeper into those ideas. The second one is going to be basically pre-owned power, and it's going to deal with price and trade-in concerns and how to go ahead and counter, transition, and close from those. That also will be full length. There's going to be a subscription available for shorter videos that are going to dive into the smaller aspects of it very, very directly, and it's going to give you a lot of different insight on a monthly basis, more than just a sales meeting, but something to actually acquire and build the habit. Now, if you're like me, habits take a little bit longer than they say, you know, the 21 days or what have you to develop a habit. So we still want to do these things relatively slowly, but I want you to be exposed to them. So please, go ahead and subscribe to that as well. There is another book that's being worked on called Motivated for Tomorrow, which is a little bit of a departure, and it's not particularly about auto sales. It's just more about human nature and helping ourselves stay motivated, because basically I can't motivate you. The best motivational speaker in the world is only going to be able to motivate you for a short period of time. You are the one that's going to have to motivate yourself, and this is going to talk about how to do that in an interesting format. Secondly, there's going to be another book put out, and that's going to be The Sport of Automotive Sales. And you've heard me talk about automotive sales as a sport, and you're really going to see it defined in this publication, and that should be out sometime in 2018. So there's a lot of different formats, there's a lot of different ways that we're going to be trying to relay this message. So I would ask you and be grateful for anybody jumping in on board, signing up for Constant Contact, but we look forward to hearing from you. Thank you so much. So exactly how is Hamilton Sales Training going to teach you how to pursue customer comfort and consultant confidence and achieve that which you seek, also to practice feigned indifference on a consistent basis, and to utilize market-based pricing philosophy and the technique? How are we going to get that done? Well, the first thing is for you to purchase Beyond the Walkaround. That's kind of what started it all, and the book is available through Amazon in print. It's available in audio through iTunes and Audible, and also a Kindle version. So that's the first thing. The second thing is we're going to begin, in fact, we've already begun audiocasts or podcasts on a bi-weekly basis that will tie into exactly what we're teaching here, and it'll give examples of successes as well. Now, another thing that we're going to do is 2 full-length videos. The first one will be Feigned Indifference in the Technique, and the second one will be called Pre-Owned Power, and it's going to deal with price and trading concerns, as well as how to handle basically the pre-owned market in today's business, and come out on top almost every time and really increase the sales in our pursuit of our confidence level, and a number of different things as well. Also, you will be able to subscribe to a monthly video, which is a shorter version. It's not a full-length 50, 55, 60-minute video, but a 25 or 30-minute video, and this is something, again, that you can subscribe to every month, and it will go ahead and break down individual concerns, as well as certain philosophies, techniques, strategies, tactics that have been used in the business, and again, how they all relate to what our primary goal is, and that is to become elite and more professional.